What is clearly a myth but is deep-rooted in our society? That you need to wait 24 hours to report a missing person. If you sincerely think someone is missing, then report it. The faster that a missing person report is filed, the better chance there is that the person will be found. This is especially crucial when it comes to missing children. This is an important one. It's also real weird how shows keep saying gotta wait 24 hours and the first 48 hours are the most important. 24 hours for missing persons, 48 for murder-kidnap. They act like they are not related. Are you suggesting that someone could be both missing and kidnapped? What are the odds? The belief that lightning never strikes twice in the same place. Actually it does, and sometimes with great frequency. Doesn't the very existence of a lightning rod invalidate this saying? The myth comes from the fact that storms move and lightning won't strike in the same spot in the same storm, but even that isn't true, especially with a lightning rod, though rarely will it strike it twice in the same storm. The Middle Ages were less barbaric and dark than we think. As a medieval historian, I agree. The Victorians are who screwed us over on this one. What did the Victorians do that changed our perception? They made up a bunch of torture implements and put them in museums for people to come look at. Oh damn. I hadn't heard of that. Any particularly well-known ones? I remember seeing a lot of barbaric shit in museums when I visited the UK as a kid and thinking, duck, we really like to hurt each other. The Iron Maiden, the torture device, not the band, was a Victorian invention. The Victorians had a penchant for just making stuff up in general to support whatever they wanted the historical narrative to be. I recently started watching Time Team, show about real-life archaeologists digging around the UK and sometimes in Europe, for those who have never seen it, on YouTube, and their continued annoyance at Victorian antiquarians amuses the hell out of me. That you can't get pregnant if X. Many things can lower fertility, but unless you literally do not have a uterus and/or ovaries, there's always a chance, for better or worse, BTW, as some of these pregnancies can be dangerous. I've known infertile women who mothered kids because their husband was hyperfertile, their hormonal levels shifted as they got older, their birth control failed because of medication or surgery, etc. etc. Assume there's a risk, or a chance, unless the equipment isn't there. When I was in high school sex ed, we were talking about birth control and a guy asked, is it true if you pour a can of Red Bull in a girl's pussy she won't get pregnant? The teacher was silent for a moment before saying, first of all, we use classroom appropriate terms here. Second, that is both the best and the worst birth control method I've heard. It will do nothing to prevent a girl you have already had sex with from getting pregnant from the act, but it will probably make her reconsider ever doing that with you again, and girls talk to each other so her friends might steer away from you too. Your teacher is right. That sounds like a great birth control method in the long run. Leaning your head back for a bloody nose. I think we just tell people this so they stop bleeding on everything else and keep their blood in their own throat. The doctor said all the bleeding was internal, that's where the blood is supposed to be. The alpha-beta social hierarchy that we observed in wolves. The researcher who performed the experiment realized he had made many mistakes in his original take, and has spent the rest of his life trying to undo the damage that report has created. This is one of the worst, in my opinion, because it influences and encourages a type of dog training that is fear-based and that can hinder the relationship between the dog and the person training them, who is often the owner. The makeup of a wolf pack is mostly familial, and the ones in charge are the mother and father, not some chosen alpha. Your dogs deserve respect. Also, the guy realized that it was actually a female wolf raising cubs that were almost fully grown, making him think it was the biggest wolf leading the pack and being the alpha, rather than a mother teaching her children how to live and where to go. So those alpha males I meet are actually just attempting to aggressively mother everyone around them. At the bar, bro, you trying to fight, bro? I am the alpha, are you trying to fight? Yeah, that's what I thought. Now hydrate, and make sure to get to bed at a reasonable time. Gum stays in your stomach for 7 years. I have an anecdote for this one. I once went to a school where chewing gum was forbidden. The rules stated that everyone who gets caught with gum has to pay a 2 fine. I don't think that's even legal, but whatever. I was watching a sports event from the stands, chewing gum, and got caught by an old teacher who was hated by everyone. She pointed at me and made me come down the stands. The conversation went like this: "You know you're not allowed to chew gum. Spit it out immediately." I already swallowed it. "Are you crazy? It's gonna stay in your stomach for 7 years. "No, it's not." "Aha, is your mom a doctor or something?" "Yes, she is." I wasn't even lying, my mom is indeed a doctor. The teacher was fuming and told me to go to the principal's office to pay the fine. I told her I would, but of course didn't. Edit, thanks for the award. I can't believe my highest rated comment is about breaking a school rule 15 years ago. Edit 2, thanks for the silver too. Edit 3, thanks for the gold as well. Pay a 2 fine, that's the craziest part to me. Dumb bullshit these schools think they can get away with. My HS adopted a policy that if you were caught with a cell phone they would keep it for a week. Of course mine went off in my bag at some point and was confiscated. Dad went in that day to pick it up and they informed him of the policy. He basically said, "I'm not going to argue. Either hand it over now or I'm filing a police report over stolen property." Policy only lasted a couple months due to similar parent interactions, but how did they think that was going to work? The amount of myths, clever marketing and bro science in the health and nutrition world is honestly too much to even list here. You mean there isn't one secret food that will make me shred fat better than cardio? There are several. For $19.95 a month I will fill you on the details. This guy's wrong, it's not several, it's numerous. For $49.99 per month, I'll fill you in on the real details this guy didn't want you to know. Anyone says you can trim fat in X area by doing Y exercises. Totally impossible. You lose fat proportionally over all areas of your body, you can't just target one area to work on. I'm speculating here, but could that have come from the fact that you build those specific muscles, causing more of a visual change? Or am I totally off base? Exercise is something I know very little about. That's basically how bodybuilding works, lifting in specific ways will add muscle to specific areas. Then cutting weight all over will expose that muscle. However, it's still important to note that it's a strategy for building muscle, not losing weight. 99% of spot training exercises won't build muscle in a serious way and are a waste of time. At the end of the day, and this pains me to say as a lifelong runner, you can't really cardio your way to a good body comp. You gotta lift. Edit, guys. By spot training I'm clearly talking about the aforementioned targeted cardio. You know, the original point being discussed. If I had meant isolation lifts, I'd have said isolation lifts. You gotta eat right too, it's damn near impossible to cardio all the fat away. Yup, you can't outrun your fork. That OCD is liking things to be extremely neat, tidy or organized. This is in India. If you pass out faint, rub the person's feet to wake them up. TV serials taught the population this trick. Now people do this for all passing out, including drownings, heart attacks, and other serious ailments. Jesus Christ, I passed out once in my town at the farmer's market and some foreign woman started rubbing my feet, now I know why. To pretend to pass out in India for free foot rubs. If you're a woman, don't pretend to pass out in India. That Marilyn Manson removed 2 ribs to be able to suck himself off. This one is funny to me because my belief is it became so well known due to the fact that no one was too surprised to hear about it and didn't question it. It was also surprisingly global in its reach. I've even heard this story told in China, though I'm not sure if the person knew who Marilyn Manson is, but he does look like the kind of guy who would do that. The widespread belief that people are sabotaging Halloween candy with needles and razors, despite there being only one documented case in the US, ever. Also, that people are lacing the kids' candy with drugs. Drugs are expensive, nobody is going to waste their stash on random kids. That one documented case is a guy that tried to kill his own kids or step-kids or something too. His own kids, yes. To get insurance money. Ronald Clark O'Brien. 1974, Deer Park, TX. Part of the Greater Houston metro area. My wife has a thing about true crime and serial killers, n.wikipedia.org.